Hello, my marvellous sausages. Now, we've got a new activity called Riven's Wishes, which you can collect here from Old Mara, and they give rewards. Now, there's 3 categories of rewards, and I'm going to be concentrating today on all the roles and the most popular roles available for the red bar last wish weapons. Look, you can see all of them there are available to have red bars so you can unlock them for crafting. But there's a couple of few caveats to this, or rather one major one. When you complete the weekly task, you get a wish token which you can exchange for one of these red bars. But this wish token and this activity is account wide, so you can only get 1 wish token per week, which means 1 red bar. Now, it's running for 6 weeks, so that means we can get 6 tokens, and in general it takes 5 patterns to unlock a craftable weapon. So bearing this in mind, that means you're only going to be able to fully unlock 1 pattern. Now, you might have patterns sort of halfway finished on the others, and you can pick and choose, and you might be able to finish one of them off, or more than one of them off. But if you're a solo player, you haven't raided, this is a great way to get a raid weapon at least, and you'll have 1 wish token left over to invest. So let's jump in and have a look at the most popular roles for all of these last wish weapons. Now, notice I say the word popular. I'm using light GG to dictate what the popularity of the roles are, but popular doesn't mean the best, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best for you, but it's great to have an indication as to what the actual community is crafting. And to be honest with you, these are the roles that I personally would craft as well. So let's start off with the Transfiguration Scout Rifle. Now, this is impact frame, slow firing, high damage. It's kinetic as well. Now, for the most popular individual perks for the Transfiguration Scout Rifle, in the final column, we've got kinetic tremors. You're going to see this one popping up quite a bit here as well. Scoring multiple hits against a target within 3 seconds, each emits a 3 damaging shockwave. So that's a nice one. Rampage as well on the 3rd column. Accurized rounds in the 2nd, and arrowhead break in the 1st. That's very popular in the 1st column as we're going to go on. But I've seen people talking about, particularly in the weapon reviews here as well, rewind rounds and kinetic tremors does sound like a good combi as well. But in saying that, so is explosive payload. Good lord, you've even got kill clip down there as well. So you do have quite a nice range of perks here for the Transfiguration. A lot of good ones. So any of those perk combinations would stand you well in the future. Next, we've got the age-old Bond auto rifle. High impact frame, slow firing. Weapon is more accurate when stationary, moving slowly and aiming down sights. Of course, explosive pact is on this baby as well. Now, this is void as well, and it's a cracker to use. Now, looking at the perks here for the age-old Bond, in the last video I did, I had to pull my original version of this video because I was looking at the original version of the age-old Bond. These are the new ones for the reprised Last Wish raid weapon. So let's have a squiz. We've got destabilizing rounds, of course, which is a fantastic perk. 29.7%, incredibly popular. I'm running one with that one, which is target lock, but yeah, that looks like a good one too. Repulsor brace, totally fantastic trait as well. This is really the one to craft, isn't it? What else do we have? We've got tactical mag, and we've also got chambered combat potato, closely followed by arrowhead break there. But it's pretty conclusive, really, that the destabilizing rounds and the repulsor brace trait are the combi for the ones on the end. The Supremacy sniper rifle, rapid fire frame, and it's kinetic. Now, we've got bait and switch and rewind rounds. That is the most popular combo we've got here in the 3rd and the 4th column. Bait and switch, if you're not too familiar with it, because it's quite a rare perk and it's generally on raid weapons, hence it being on the Supremacy. What it means is that if you make a damage, if you damage a target with every single one of your weapons within 7 seconds, so you go for your primary slot, your secondary slot, and then finally your power slot, that'll then give this weapon a 35% damage increase for 10 seconds. So it's a bit of a fiddle, but if you shoot it with your primary, then shoot it with your power weapon, or I'd rather go power weapon, primary, then into your secondary, then you have bait and switch up and running, and that'll give you a 35% damage increase. So it's a nice perk. And then you've also got rewind rounds, which means that it refills 60% of the number of hits landed into the magazine from reserves. So you basically get yourself, if you keep on hitting, you keep on filling up your pipe, which is very, very nice indeed. And then you've got extended mag, of course, for more bullets in your magazine, and then you've also got arrowhead break for stability recoil control. But if you don't fancy bait and switch because you think it's a bit of a fiddle, 4th time's the charm is the next popular, and Vorpal. But I want to bring your attention down here to kinetic tremors. A lot of people saying that this is an excellent enhanced trait to have as well, so that could be something that you would consider as well if you don't like the more fiddly perks like bait and switch. And next we've got the Tyranny of Heaven combat bow, and it's a solar and a lightweight frame as well. And looking at it and looking at people's comments about this, there seems to be only 2 perk combinations people are going for, and it's Enhanced Incandescent and Enhanced Dragonfly. Look at the Incandescent 39. It's a great perk. It's fantastic. It practically turns this into almost an exotic feeling bow, you know, with the Dragonfly as well. This is a really good perk combination, and this is the one that you should be crafting. What else have we got? Golden Tricorn, and Explosive Head too. Yeah, if you like your explosions, that's not bad either. Don't forget though, these are just popularity. Doesn't mean it's for you, but it's handy to know what the community are building. And then we've got a carbon arrow shaft there as well, and we've also got a tactile string or agile bowstring just almost coming up behind it there. So that perk combination is probably what you're looking to be crafting for your Tyranny of Heaven. Now we've got the Techan Force Fusion Rifle. It's arc and it's adaptive frame. Its base stats aren't the best. However, there are perk combinations on the Techan Force that make this a really good fusion rifle, and it kind of turns it into a mini exotic merciless, you know, fusion as well. So what we've got do this is the controlled burst basic trait. Landing every shot in a burst grants this weapon increased damage and reduced charge time for a short duration, and also reconstruction as well, so this weapon slowly reloads itself over time up to double capacity. These two riding together, you can see why they're the most popular as well, really are excellent for this and bring this fusion rifle up to another level. You can have rewind rounds as well, of course. That's coming in pretty hot on the heels of reconstruction there, but all the others seem to be falling way behind. Remember, in popularity, okay? You might want to have something completely different. I keep on reiterating this because I'm not saying this is the beyond and end all, but it's nice to know, isn't it, what everyone's using. And then in the other columns, we've got accelerated coils and arrowhead break as well. But to be honest, if I was crafting it, I would craft that top row of perks: arrowhead break, accelerated coils, reconstruction, and controlled burst. The Chattering Bone Pulse Rifle. Again, this one is kinetic. It's lightweight frame too. The most popular perk combinations we've got in our last 2 columns is Kinetic Tremors, which gives you those 3 damaging shockwaves, and also Kill Clip as well. Nice combination that there, and they're pretty much head and shoulders above all the others in the popularity stakes. But I do know a lot of people do like to go for Rampage perhaps on these as well, so it's entirely up to you. However, we do have accurized rounds and arrowhead break yet again in the first column there, and they're pretty much head and shoulders above as well. Maybe arrowhead break is only just edging it over chambered compensator, but there we go. If you were to craft the Chattering Bone, I'd go for a kinetic tremors and a kill clip. The Nation of Beasts hand cannon, its arc and its adaptive frame. Now I've got to fess up here and say that I don't have any Nation of Beasts footage because I simply don't own one, but we can certainly check out what the popular perks are. Now the Nation of Beasts is widely considered very good for PvP, and if you have a little look at we have a theory crafters element here on Light GG, which is basically put together irrelevant of the actual popularity of the roles. So for theory crafters for PvP, what you're looking for here is kill clip in that column there, or either opening shot and keep away, and then in the second column, accurized rounds, and the preference is hammer forged rifling there as well. But of course, PvE is the main driving force, well, a lot of the time in Destiny 2, so this, I would say, is more of a PvE role. But it wouldn't be the one I particularly pick. The most popular one we've got here is Explosive Payload, which is marvellous, and also Dragonfly as well. They're pretty much head and shoulders above their nearest rivals, but it's got Volt Shot on it, and I do love Volt Shot, you know, along with Incandescent and Volatile Rounds as well. That is a really nice perk to have on there. I'd seriously consider that if you enjoy using hand cannons, and you are an arc warrior, as it were. What else do we have here? We've also got accurized rounds, and as well we have chambered compensator, very, very closely followed, of course, by arrowhead break and tactical mag there in the second column. So yes, PvP, it's very, very favoured, the Nation of Beasts, but it's also good for PvE, particularly, I think, if you use the Volt Shot. If I was to do it, I'd do Volt Shot, and then I'd do Dragonfly, and also do accurized rounds, and probably arrowhead break for me too. And finally, we have the Apex Predator rocket launcher. It's solar and it's adaptive frame. Now, the Apex Predator has some amazing perks on it, and it's made it one of the most popular legendary rocket launchers for use in the game at the moment. In fact, this is going to be my choice to craft. I'm going to get one of these because it certainly does look great. Now, what we've got here in the perk columns, we've got Bait and Switch and Reconstruction. Now, Bait and Switch, that basically adds 35% damage increase for 10 seconds with it if you deal damage with all your other weapons within 7 seconds of each other. This is the only craftable rocket launcher that comes with Bait bait and switch, the enhanced bait and switch, which is why this is in demand. So, you know, you can see why this is really popular role. Reconstruction as well as on your refills 10% of the magazine capacity. Again, really, really useful. And then the other perks we've got, we have impact casing, which increases your stability. And we've also got a quick launch as well, so greatly increases handling speed and projectile speed too. So it's pretty clear cut as what you're going to do with this. Incandescent doesn't get a look in though, although explosive light is pretty popular there too, depending on the amount of orbs of power you pick up. Grants you an extra blast radius, basically. So that's pretty close on the heels of bait and switch, but bait and switch is very, very popular. But it's a bit of a fiddle, and if you don't like fiddling with it, maybe explosive light is going to be your best chance. But then that's dependent on the orbs of power. You know what I like? See, I like bipod and tracking module, but that's not great for end game. If you want it to hit as hard as possible, these are your babies, and get used to the bait and the switch. Yes. Now, the one I'm going to pick to actually craft is this, the Apex Predator, because I think I'm going to find it the most useful in end game content, particularly in like Legend of Master Lost sectors and dungeons and things like that. So yes, that's what I'm going to be going for. I'm going to craft it with the bait and switch and the reconstruction as well, and get myself used to fiddling and swapping around, but getting that extra 35% damage, which is the main reason why people are crafting this. This is the most popular one to craft, and that's the one I really would recommend that you go for. If I had to pick a second one, it would be this. It's the Tyranny of Heaven combat bow, the solar bow, because we've got incandescent and we've also got dragonfly in it as well, which almost gives it exotic qualities. Yeah, so in fact, I'm up in an hour and I might actually look to craft this one too. But of course, we're not earning enough red bars, are we? Enough tokens to craft 2 weapons. But there are other ways. Now, there are 2 other methods to get red bars if you want to finish off a couple of extra patterns for these Last Wish raid weapons and you're a solo player. The first one is to pick up one of these here from Hawthorne in the Tower Bazaar. Now, you can see it costs Spoils of Conquest to pick any one of these up, 20 Spoils of Conquest to be exact, but you can pick up Spoils of Conquest, I can't say it, as a solo player by getting certain chests in certain parts of the raid. Now, I've done a video on how you can farm Spoils of Conquest each week, enough to certainly pick up some of these patterns to finish off and unlock them for crafting. So there's a link in the top here so you can go and see exactly how to do that and get yourself some Spoils of Conquest to unlock these red bars. But we've also got another method of collecting Last Wish raid weapons from 2 chests within the Last Wish raid, and you can do this completely solo. It's very, very easy to do, and I've got a video for that as well. There's both chest locations and exactly how to get them. I'm going to put a link here at the top now as well, and at the end of the video and in the description, so you can go and finish off your lovely patterns and maybe get yourself a juicy Apex Predator. Let me know in the comments what you're going to be crafting, or if you're going to be crafting the Apex Predator with slightly different perks. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. It's always really informative and useful because you're a very learned bunch. I'm going to have another video coming out tomorrow as well in regard to the D2 checkpoint bots, which are really, really useful for getting the Shurochi checkpoint, which you can use for farming kills, and also getting those raid chests as well if you can't be bothered going through all the Shurochi, sticking all the codes in the wall, which can take absolutely forever. So I'm going to bring a quick video to show you how to do that tomorrow. I've only started using it myself like yesterday, and it's really, really good. Probably loads of you use it already, but I want to bring it to your attention just so you know that it's there and it's incredibly useful. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you all again very soon. Sausage out.